Hi, this is the video for social inclusion. I'm Nicole Napier. Um, so this is chapter 2, which describes what social exclusion is and why social inclusion is important. Social exclusion is when the person is deprived of social interaction and the benefits that come from that. The key activities in which someone should participate in are consumption, which is the ability to purchase goods and services. So if you don't have any money to purchase goods or services, you're affected in different ways. Production, participation in economically or socially valuable activities, which means that they have a job, they are able to hold down a job, make money, and produce things that are valuable to society, whether that be mechanically or working in like a restaurant or creating art or creating something. Just something that they can produce that other people can use, enjoy, in order to fill that social inclusion. Political engagement, involvement in local and or national decision making. That doesn't necessarily mean that they need to be involved in politics, but it's important that people feel like they have a voice in society and that they can express their opinions with other people. And so that is an extremely important part of social inclusion. And social interaction, which is being around friends and family and a community. And so this will help make them more social, get them out in the open, and it'll help with social inclusion. So social inclusion is very important because it can help with the mental health and making the person happy or feeling like there's value to their life and having the support system around them, so if there is mental issues or mental illnesses, that they have somewhere to reach out to. It helps someone feel fulfilled in their life. If you don't have a job, if you can't afford things, if you don't have supportive friends and family around you, you're more likely to have mental illnesses or more likely to not handle your mental illnesses the correct way. So the 3 topics that I've chosen are employment, poverty, and physical health to discuss. So employment is extremely important because this makes the person feel like they are fulfilled, they are producing things that other people can buy, and just makes them feel more included and like they're doing something that matters. Like I said, this can be from working at McDonald's to, having a government position in the government, to even writing a book or doing something like that. As long as they are producing something, they are employed, they're getting a paycheck, that really can help with mental health, because then they are able to buy and purchase goods, which is important for social integration. And so also suicide rates are higher amongst unemployed people, and depression and anxiety rates are also higher with unemployed people, showing that that is an extremely important part of social integration. And if you're doing jobs that interact with the public, if you have coworkers, things like that obviously can help in mental illness. There's also the flip side, that if your employment is in a stressful position or you don't like what you do or things like that, can also affect mental health. But overall, it's very important for social inclusion to give them that social feeling and help their mental health. Poverty, obviously This goes with employment a little bit because if you're not employed, you could fall under the poverty line because of that. But poverty also affects social inclusion because they aren't able to participate in consumption. People who are under the poverty line don't know where they're getting their money. And if they are under the poverty line, they are much less likely to reach out for help for any mental illnesses that they face, and that leads to even more problems. So, various forms of mental disorder impact the economic welfare of individuals, and financial hardship and insecurity are sources of stress. So, that can affect your mental illness as well. If you are stressed, if you don't know where your next paycheck is coming from, if you don't know how you're going to pay your bills, if you fall under the poverty line, that obviously leads to a lot more issues and a lot more mental problems and a lot bigger burden. So it's very important that we notice these things and that they have a community around them to help them in these scenarios, because social inclusion, even if they're under the poverty line, they still need to be around people and know that they are cared for and they matter. And physical health. Physical health is important to social inclusion because if the body is not healthy, the mind is less likely to be healthy. It's important to understand that people who are disabled physically might also have mental issues as well, and mental issues can also, and mental illnesses can also have physical symptoms as well. If someone is depressed, this could lead to overeating or undereating, and if they're anxious, this could lead to them, biting their nails a lot or doing things like that. And you see this with anxious people who have heart conditions who, because they are so anxious all the time, can lead to physical health issues. So social inclusion can help with that because if they feel comfortable enough, they can reach out for help and they can participate in these things, and they can be involved in the things that are important if they are physically healthy. And if they are not physically healthy, they can have people to help them get to that place and to love them regardless. So yeah, all of these things are extremely important. Social inclusion is extremely important to help with mental illnesses in general. Alright, that's all I have to say about social inclusion. I wanted to apologize for turning this in a little bit late. I was having problems figuring out how to record it, but I got there. And yeah, thank you for being understanding about my late assignments and things like that. I've been going through a rough time mentally, like I said in my email, and I really appreciate you being understanding. I'm trying to get through it and reach out to people and all that stuff. So thank you so much. Bye.